This is the 179th episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the 4th week of June 2014. This episode is titled Summer 14. CloudFocus Weekly is brought to you by Arkus, and we are hiring. If you are a Salesforce consultant and want to be part of a unique and growing company, send your resumes to careers@arkusinc.com. I've already been hired, so I am your host, and joining me, another co-hired person, the co-host with the most, Justin, I have no voice, I've been screaming World Cup too long, Edelstein!
It's coming back.
Go!
Stop
it. Goal.
Stop it. We're not gonna talk about the World Cup.
So it is the Monday after the World Cup.
The World Cup is on right now. What do you mean after the World Cup?
After the only game that most of you listening to are going to care about, the U.S. game. I have my own little World Cup story is that I drove to Massachusetts and back this weekend. I spent 9 hours in the car. I listened to 3 entire games.
It's very hard to listen to a soccer match.
It is terrible. It is the worst experience ever because things are
Why'd
so...
you do that?
What else am I going to listen to? Like, listening to NFL radio at this point, the rookie symposium is about as dumb as
I would have
listening
thought that would be my bet on what you're listening to.
I know, but I didn't. It was
Listening to a soccer match is pretty hardcore.
It was pretty hardcore
on the radio.
Three full games.
Wow. All day Sunday, huh?
I don't know, all day Friday on the way up.
Oh.
Literally 2 games.
Wow.
Yeah. It was insane. But, so we're not going to talk about World Cup today.
Well, it was officially summer this weekend.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Thusly, I had that in my notes somewhere. And thusly, we're going to do an all Summer 14 episode because
it's officially summer.
Because officially summer. The release is coming soon as a couple weeks. And
do we need to give dates? I feel like we do.
Sure, if you want to give dates, you can look those up. And we have not one, not 2, but probably by the time that you download and listen to this, 3 blog posts on blog.arkusinc.com covering the Salesforce Summer 14. One is Justin's rapid release notes. One is why sales teams should be excited about Summer 14. And the third will be about service enhancements in Summer 14. So there are many, and I think there are more to come.
Yeah,
so,
there's the service one, and then I think there's one more after that around work.com.
Work.com?
Correct. And the release is scheduled for the July 11th weekend and the July 18th weekend, depending on which pod you are on, and then sandboxes go on the 19th.
So find your pod. So we're not going to cover what's in the blog post because you should go read those, but we're going to we're going to pick out stuff that we're excited about, things that we think are awesome, things maybe hidden stuff that you just wouldn't see, and maybe we'll pick out some stuff that we're not so excited about. I don't know. That's a foreshadow from last episode where you already told us the thing you were not excited about.
What was that?
The banners.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't going to even talk about the banners.
Well,
I already forgot about them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you won't forget about them when they're coming down your face.
I will, because my amazing system admin will just turn it off immediately that Saturday morning.
Yes. Your amazing system admin probably will be up that early.
That'll be you.
Yeah, that'll be me. All right. So let's dig in.
Let's do it.
Do you want to just do a round robin? Do you want to hit some big stuff?
Let's round robin.
I have some that are sort of on my list.
I've got a list of 10 here that I'm just working off of.
Excellent. Well, then go for one.
So I think the importance of actions. I wrote a blog post about this. Maybe a year ago it was. Maybe not a year. Maybe 6 months ago, about the importance of actions and how actions are kind of the future of where we're going with Salesforce One, the mobile application, using actions really as the thing. And in the user interface, I find actions to be ho-hum, right? So what? You can create a record from a feed.
Right.
Oh, well. But it's the way that you create records on the phone. And now we're seeing actions being pushed out to the Outlook client. So being able to create more kinds of Salesforce records directly from the side panel in the Outlook, the Salesforce for Outlook side panel, really just using actions. So they're publisher actions in the side panel, right? So Salesforce side panel publisher. So you can create, accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, custom objects right from the side panel. So if you're living in Outlook and you're loving that side panel, it's going to get a whole lot better because you're going to be able to start creating records using actions. And I find that that's like actions are slowly but surely becoming the way to create new stuff. Yeah. Because it's the way to create stuff on the phone, and it's now the way to create stuff in Outlook.
Well, I think it's the way to create stuff in the not browser experience.
Right.
Like when you're in a place where you have limited space, where you have limited access to Salesforce, you don't have a huge monitor and a big Salesforce logged in, it's still a great place to get stuff quickly inside. So it made very good sense when you're in, originally it was in just the Chatter app, and then it became the Salesforce One mobile app. And now it makes perfect sense to bring it over to Outlook because it's the same paradigm, which is I have a small place and I don't have a full screen to fill it out. I just have this small place and I want to put data into Salesforce in a small way. And I think it's a great use case. I actually was demoing or helping a client with Outlook the other day, and as full disclosure, what I've talked about a million times, we're not Outlook users. We're Google users or Google Apps, and so, you log in, you say, oh, look at all the neat stuff that's in that
Outlook's great. I was just training a client on it this morning. And just the ability to do some of the stuff from the sidebar has really, really become very, very powerful. So kudos, and it's getting more powerful.
With, probably will their
with actions, right? And then with the Microsoft announcement.
So that's your one.
Yeah. I told you I have a list of 10, so I'll just go down. Whatever you don't mention, I'll touch on.
I am going to do a two-parter.
Okay.
One is to remind people of an older feature, and then to sort of push on. So this is a small one, but in the previous release, spring 14. It's always tough.
Your
I'm
favorite
always like
release.
my favorite release.
Jason Atwood's favorite release of all time, Spring 14. Stop it. Keep going. Your favorite
release ever was hiding of folders or of report types.
Yeah.
So very important to because you log in, sometimes you hit the report tab, and if you haven't done a lot in there and hidden folders and things, all these different, when you create a new report type or new report, it says, hey, there's 1 billion report types. And report types are the things that catch up every user. Every new user that I've ever seen, they're like, I'm staring at this report and there's no partners in it. And I'm looking at an account report. And you're like, well, it's not an account with a partners report. They're like, well, why do I need that? Why can't I just get with the account report? You're like, well, whatever. Let's talk about data hierarchy. Or let's not. So that was a feature in spring. And in summer, you get the ability to pin folders, report folders, to the top of your report view. So I can immediately see this. I don't think you can do it for others. But I can immediately see this as a combination of log in as any user, log in as your as the executive in your group, and then pin his folder to the top. So that's the first thing he sees, so he knows where to get to his data. As well as make the dashboard his dashboard.
Love anytime you could pin something anywhere.
Pinning is good.
Pinning's good. In search results, pinning's good. Yep. Pinning's good everywhere.
I like it.
Let me put the stuff I care about where I can see it best.
So that's one.
Oh, that's one.
That's it. No,
okay.
I combined it with the spring.
Gotcha.
To remind people that the spring release had that.
Gotcha.
Very cool. I will say I haven't done it in a lot of orgs. I keep thinking about doing it, but I'm like, well, what if they need that report type?
I've taught people it's there if you want to do it. It's up to you. I don't know what report types you want to hide or keep or whatever. Because as an admin, you see them all. And then as not an admin, you don't see the ones that you can't. If you don't see the object, you don't see that report type. So I don't want to start hiding things for people. Just teach them how. Teach a man how to fish. Anyway, I'm going to go with the mobile one.
Okay.
So drilling from a dashboard all the way down to a record.
On mobile.
On the mobile. So
Salesforce
One app. You've already got dashboards in there.
Yep.
But that's all you got. You got pictures. You got pretty pictures right now.
I like a pretty picture.
In the next release, in the summer release, although I'm sure this will be like a separate, that's the kind of quirky thing about picking mobile stuff. Like the mobile app needs a release, so it's got its own cycle. I don't know if it's going to come before or after.
I think that stuff actually comes before. I feel like
usually I feel like it comes before too. But anyway, you can be sitting in your dashboard and be looking at a component. You can click on the component. It'll land you in a tabular view of the report, the underlying report of that component that you were looking at. I think you get like 100 rows. And then, I mean, better than nothing. So you get into a report right on your phone or on your iPad. And then you can click. The records themselves are clickable, which is the thing that I've always really loved about Salesforce reports, is that they're live. So you run it, it's running it as of that moment, and then it's not this PDF printed thing, it's data. So you can click and go right down to the record.
Data, dude.
It's data, man. So from a big chart in a dashboard, you can go all the way down to a report, and from there all the way down to a record. And I think that that's pretty cool to taking mobile analytics to a whole new level.
So I'm going to pick two that are
no comment, just that's it.
Oh, it does what it does.
Okay,
it's good.
We'll
you
wait
need
to
have
see.
it.
We'll wait
mobile.
To see if I have
right,
anything to say about you,
what?
About your picks. No comment will be my pick.
Excellent. What do you? If you had to throw a number out there, a well-informed number about percentage of functionality between desktop, browser, and mobile, where do you think they are now? What would you say to somebody? They said, "What can I do, desktop versus mobile, percentage-wise?"
I say, I feel like they're about 66% of the way there.
Okay,
it's my way of saying just under 2/3. 66%.
I feel
not
like
quite there.
I feel like I start high. Like I'm always like, well, you could do almost anything. You can search
but
it,
there's
and then
tons of stuff you
and
can't
then
do.
all of a sudden I drop down. I would say they're just over 50%.
Yeah,
literally
they're probably
51.
somewhere. I'm giving them a little, maybe more. Like you can't run everything. You can't do everything on the phone that you could do. Even down to some of the third-party stuff that just doesn't work, App Exchange stuff, and that's like once you get into that, then you're down a whole rat hole
down
of
to
things
30%
that doesn't work. So, but the core stuff, a lot of it works. There's some hidden little things like stuff that you wouldn't necessarily even want to do on your phone that doesn't work. But then there's stuff that you would want to do on your phone, like I feel like you can't use email to case on the phone. Like you can't see the email object on a case, and that's something that you'd absolutely want to do on your phone.
You can't email using templates on the phone.
Yeah,
it's another one. I think it's probably lower than 50%. But
probably.
My perception is higher.
But what you want to do on a phone is probably higher than what you actually can do. Like there's certain things you just I'd be so much better at doing this if I just had a laptop than sitting on my phone, right? It's like you got to start with the stuff that, okay, let me edit a record.
Yeah.
Let me get to records.
Totally.
Let me search for records.
Let me
create some records.
All right, so I'm going to bundle two together because they're they're kind of connected in a non-connected way. So one is see topics people know about on user profiles.
Ooh, that was in my list. You got it.
Oh, okay, good. I got one. Battleship. Wait, I sunk your Summer 14 Battleship. Which is, there's the endorsement feature, which came out in spring, which allows you to endorse people for topics, and then that shows up in there in the topic sidebar, which is you've been endorsed for this thing. You can't endorse yourself. I've tried. You have to be endorsed by others. But now in your overview, you'll see their endorsed topics. They're calling knowledgeable about, but it is the endorsement. Right. So it's a little odd because it's kind of taking the exact same feature but flipping it and calling it something different. It's not knowledgeable about being endorsed. So it's endorsed topics, but they're calling it knowledgeable. Anyway, that, which is sort of the low level whatever, and I'm trying to quickly go up here.
We'll talk about why those are great.
Oh, well, I mean, I think when in a bigger community, the bigger community you get and the more chatter, when you're looking at someone's overview, to be able to click on and see what they're sort of known for, what they're good at. It's kind of like what's in LinkedIn. LinkedIn does it kind of interesting, you get sort of tracks. So, this is only saying you've endorsed once, right? So you could be endorsed once for every topic and then you're kind of the king of everything, versus LinkedIn is like, well, Salesforce CRM, I have whatever, a ton of people have put me in. So then it shows you how many people. But I think it gives you a view into, well, is this person, I think, are they active in the community? That's a big indicator. And what are they enduring? What have other people said they're knowledgeable about in the community, in the topic side?
I want to think about it the other way.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to find somebody who's knowledgeable about a topic to help me do what I need to do, whether it be sell something or support something. I want to talk to that person who's really knowledgeable about that thing, whether, selling a widget. Well, this person's good at widget selling, so I want to talk to widget salesperson or widget support person just to sort of help me get the right person involved with, and that just leads to better collaboration to me. So I want to look at it the other way. I want to look at the topic and find the people. I don't want to look at the person and say, oh, this person's good at this. So what?
And the other thing I'm going to add to that, because I was kind of that's the light feature where I think this goes, where now it gets into the work.com stuff, is skills.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, skills, it's taking the ability to tag somebody with something that they know about, but it's building into the work.com only side of things. Right? So it's kind of knowledgeable, but it's a skill. I'm not endorsed for a topic. I now have a full-blown skill. And that's where I think it gets more powerful, like to go in and see someone, So skills in generally available, I haven't seen them, so I never saw them in pilot or beta or anything. But I'm excited about skills because I think that's again a big organization to be able to see what people are good at is important. I'm very concerned that these types of little features are the features that I feel like are the chopping block features. I could see something like knowledgeable about as being something that just be gone someday.
Tags goes by the way of tags.
It could be tagged.
Could be tags.
Now topics, and maybe topics is so prevalent all over. And I was actually demoing topics to someone today too, that showing them they're like, they wanted the answer. What's the free form way of creating a group of contacts? And I said, this is the free form way. Topic them. So skills. I'm excited about skills.
Need topics in reports. Just need that. I want to add people with a certain topic to a campaign. That's what I want to do.
But you can do it from the contact.
From the list?
This view, yeah.
All right. I guess I could do that. Got me there. All right. Let's see.
Score one for Jason.
I'm going to go back to publisher actions because I think that they're so awesome. Yeah.
Really?
Well, because now you can use them in chatter off organizations. So if you don't have chatter on, and I'm gonna just double up on this one because you've been doubling it.
I did.
So if you don't have chatter on for some sort of security reason, or you just don't want to use it, it's like, that's not for me. Chatter is nonsense. That's your opinion. You can go with it, but we see actions, publisher actions, are the future. It's the way that we're creating records, particularly on the mobile. And again, in the Outlook side panel, you don't have to have chatter on anymore to use publisher actions. You can just create actions. No reason for chatter to be on in that case. So I think that that's a nice... It's actually, and I wrote about this in my wrapper reaction, I think it's the first time I've seen Salesforce in a long, long time roll out a feature that was like disconnected and independent from chatter needing to be turned on. Like, there's so many features that have been added over the course of time where it's like, in order for you to get this, chatter has to be on. In order for you to get that, chatter has to be on. Or, global search. And I can think of probably 5 others, but I'm not going to. Like, something else has to be on. This is like, yeah, we're giving you this when that thing isn't on.
Right.
Which I think is actually kind of unique to this.
It's the proof positive that chatter, I don't want to say chatter's dead, but chatter as a marketing sledgehammer to get people to use chatter. We're gonna not have search. We're not gonna let you have this. We're not. We're gonna do all this stuff to make you turn on chatter. It's the death of that, not chatter itself. Although I could totally see a rebranding of chatter come around because it's sort of past its prime in terms of a name of a thing. But it's now becoming, listen, we don't need to push chatter. We've got better features. We've got other stuff that we want to have people using, and just making this wall, this chatter wall, as the way to get them to use it isn't the only way to do it.
And speaking
We
of
got
which,
banners now. We can throw big
banners.
banners in front of you.
Speaking of which,
Yep, you're doubling down.
We can now roll out Chatter to profiles.
But isn't that
Profile-based rollout of
generally available?
Chatter. Oh, good question. I feel like if you just contact Salesforce,
I know it's been in pilot forever.
It's either GA or it's in the release notes as though you can just do it.
Oh, good.
So basically, again, you can control the rollout of Chatter now.
Yep.
You can beta test it or whatever, pilot it, see if it
So it's
works
profile
out.
based?
It is profile based. Don't know if it's permission set based.
That's
or
what I was
not.
gonna
I don't
ask.
know. I just know it's profile based. So you can roll out Chatter to a profile. I really don't know if it's permission set based. I should have looked before I put this on my list, but I would have to guess it is. But like, there should be a Chatter enabled permission set. That should be a thing, but I'm not sure since profiles and permission sets are so tightly intertwined. You'd think that they would, but anyway, now again, and tons of organizations ask for this, right? Can I just turn Chatter on for? I mean, those organizations who've been using Salesforce since before Chatter existed, it was like, can I turn this on for just some people and not others?
Yeah, they want to pilot it.
Yeah, and you want to roll it out. If you're a big company, you don't want to just turn Chatter on and annoy a lot of people with like, oh, here's Chatter. And then when you turn it on, you get all those like little things you got to do and like skip the videos, which you shouldn't do. You should watch them. But, people don't do that. They just X out of them and clear those yellow boxes out of the way. So profile-based rollout of Chatter.
Nice. There is...
you can do it with permission sets, by the way.
Excellent. That's the only way you should be doing it. Sponsored by the Permissioner. So there's a lot of stuff coming to activities. There's one thing that's coming to activities which I swear I could have read, but now I can't find, so I'm not sure I'm even going to talk about it. Maybe you'll validate that it's there. I'm going to talk about something else, which is... activities for all of you Salesforce people or maybe learning Salesforce people, activities are a strange beast. They do things that no other object can do, but they have lots of limitations about what they can do, and it's because with great power comes comes less responsibility. So there's been weird things about what formulas you can put on them, what workflow rules you can put on them, what lookup fields you can put on them,
or lack thereof,
and that was the one I was looking for. Is that official in this? I just can't find it in the notes.
I thought I saw it in the notes.
All right, well,
maybe it
dropped off.
Maybe it dropped off.
One of the things that you haven't been, I'm going to mention another one. This is kind of cool, is you can now use formulas to track and validate activities by date and date time. So you can use a formula to track inside of the to build and validate off of things based on the activity date and time, which you never could do before, which is sort of, so if you wanted to validate something when someone's going to put in, did it put in before this date or after this date, you can now do that in a formula and a validation rule. It's actually pretty cool and something I've heard a lot of. I haven't had a use case in the last 6 months, but something that I feel like, wow, if you'd asked me 2 days ago, I said, okay, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Because you never think like, oh, caveat, tons of activity stuff. And that other feature, which I don't know is coming, so I'm not going to mention it. I wish someone could find it.
I thought I saw it in the release.
All right, well, I'm going to say because I think I saw it in the release.
Maybe it was, and now it's pulled out.
You can now, in theory...
I think this was a pilot.
In pilot, you could put this is another limitation of activities. You could never put a lookup field to another object, right? So activities has the who and the what, and then they had the many who, and they only have the single what. But there's a lot of cases where you actually want to connect it to another what, and now you can add another lookup field to another object, another record that is separate. And so that's actually, I know of a couple customers where their little heads are going to explode because they want to relate it to a specific thing and this other thing.
Yeah, like a fund.
That's the one. That's the number one, is the fund. They want to relate it to the fund and the account.
Funds.
And the opportunity.
Gotta get it to a fund.
Right, everything's going to relate to a fund.
So much fun.
So much fun. All right, so those are my 1, 2.
Let's do a little speed round.
I've
got a couple more here. The Today app in Salesforce 1.
Yep.
I love me
I've
some
heard it.
enhancements to the Today app. I want the Today app to be amazing, and I think we're making some small steps here to get there. So the Today app's going to have conference call dialing built into it. So, if you have if you have a go-to meeting inside of your meeting invite, it'll automatically join the go-to meeting from the Today app,
Nice.
which is really cool. WebEx also. And it'll also dial in to like conference call numbers. So it has, that's kind of a pain. You're on your mobile and you have a conference dial in, and then you have the pin or the bridge number or whatever. And you've got to sort of like copy paste or go back and forth or have things open and on a mobile is not the easiest thing. So you want either someone to send you a mobile friendly dial in, which is always nice of the person who sends it.
That's me.
Or you can have an app, which, we've talked about a few that do this, but now Today is going to have that built right into it, which is a really, really nice feature. And then just to go along with the Today app, another enhancement is you can log a mobile calendar event in Salesforce. So if
you're just weird,
yeah. So the Today app does not pull the events from your Salesforce calendar. It pulls your events from your calendar on your phone. So it pulls those in, which I think is weird. It should pull it in from your Salesforce calendar.
Makes no sense that it would pull one in the other. Well, I can tell you why, because they're not, because the API stuff on the activities is crap.
It's better on the phone.
Right.
So you've got your Today app and you've got your event, and now there'll be a button that says log this event. And when you hit the button, it will log the event inside of Salesforce, not just in the Today app, which is not reading from Salesforce. I know that's very tricky. But it will actually log the event inside of Salesforce. So no more typing, cutting and pasting, any of that stuff. It brings everything in to the Salesforce event. So
two more little ones for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of like done.
Middle name.
There's tons of stuff. Middle name.
Murray.
Nice one.
Jason Murray Atwood.
Nice one.
Junior.
That's going to be... I don't even want to deal with that right now.
Because you have to go undo all of your custom middle name.
Undo and like redo integrations and stuff with middle name. Like that's a pain.
How about more list views in mobile?
Yes, good
that's
one.
Awesome.
Need that. I don't want just my recently looked at ones. I just want them.
How about sorting on a list view in mobile?
Nice.
Yeah, a good one.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of the other big ones that I'm a big fan of. That's it. Yeah, I mean, you will cover the mobile ones. I was trying to think of this one. Oh, attachment sizes.
Attachment sizes got bigger.
Yeah, everything went bigger. Nice. The email in is now 25 megabytes.
I thought it was 10.
I think it went, it's up. The actual attachment size is up.
Oh, that's what it was. The actual attachment was 10.
But the email in is also up. So good stuff for attachments.
Some good. We didn't touch on service stuff. So the console got a little bit of love. So related lists are now standard console components in the service console. You have the ability to have like the milestone tracker as a little console item, so that's pretty nice. Nice out of the box, just customization to the console that you can add in there. Some nice type ahead and autocomplete stuff for knowledge search.
Yeah.
So being able to search for knowledge and do like type ahead across the entire title and any keyword on the I guess or category on the article itself. So you get suggestions and you get to just jump to the article, which I think will increase productivity.
Search gets some love.
Love when search gets love.
Yeah.
Those were all of, I have one more. It was a mobile one. It was kind of a small one.
Which is what?
being able to submit a record for approval from the mobile device.
Very nice.
So you can all those approval processes. You create your record using your publisher action, and then you can submit it for approval right from the mobile.
Excellent.
For quick hitting type of things like maybe timesheets or PTO requests or things like that. That's nice to be able to just do that right from the mobile app.
Yeah, again, 327 pages as of the last count. That's my version. Which
Very
was,
big.
I don't know when. I don't know what version I have, but I have an older version.
It's a big version.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I guess we used to judge by the page size, the page amount, but it
now
seems
it's
like
always.
seems like it's always. Big.
You know what it is? The platform is becoming so large that, and every release, like most things, get a little bit of. Love, a little enhancement here, a little enhancement there.
I mean, specifically, didn't mean territory management 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
massive
huge
stuff that it's like long time coming. So read over your notes, get ready for releases, check on trust.salesforce.com to figure out when your org or pod or whatever is going to
it's either
flip.
the 11th or the 18th.
You should already be into your pre-release one, which is nice.
Your sandbox.
And now we will get into our CloudFocus app picks of the week. I will say I did sneak a peek at your pick.
Yeah.
Sneak a peek at your pick because I saw it. We were scheduled to do this last week and we didn't because we are terrible, terrible people. And I was fascinated.
Me too.
I'm both like it's too good to be true, and then as I read closer. Like I have all sorts of questions. I don't know if it is too good to be true, but it feels too good to be true.
I have tons of questions about this.
So
I'm going to talk to them about it. Well, because I don't have the answers. So I'm picking from Cirrus, our friends at Cirrus.
Our friends.
Google Drive and Google Docs for Salesforce. Cirrus Files. It's a very complicated name. I'm not even sure what exactly this thing is called. But basically, you can sync your Google Drive and Google Docs with Salesforce. And if anyone has seen the Box integration with Salesforce, this feels a lot like the Box integration.
Really?
So the Box integration, basically at a record level, you have a folder in Box, and it respects the security of the Salesforce record, and it just creates a folder, and then you can create content and add content into that folder, and then it just shows up in a little component inside of a page, inside of a widget inside the page.
Yep.
So that is basically what this looks like just for Google Drive. So it connects any file or folder in Google Drive to standard and custom objects inside of Salesforce. So anything that's in Google Drive can show up in a component, basically if the folder is connected to the record. Now, how that happens, I'm not sure. Because again, haven't really played with this. I'll just tell you, haven't touched it. Just looked really interesting. And the Cirrus folks really know what they're doing when it comes to the Google Salesforce integration.
Right.
So it just looked like a really intriguing product because we're big time Google Drive users and we're big time Salesforce users and we're big time Google Mail or users. So this looks like a very intriguing thing, and also to be able to just do better than the link that Salesforce provides. Like, oh, so what? I have a link to a Google attachment.
Right, which is really not even.
It's just a link, literally.
It's a literal link, and my big pet peeve was you have to give it a name. I'm like, why can't you use the name of the thing I'm linking to?
I don't know.
Like, why do I have to give it a new name? And it literally is just a link,
Yeah.
and it gets because it's in. It's in attachments, yeah?
Yeah, it's in it.
So then it gets buried by other attachments.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a type of like Google attachment or Google Doc or something like that. But this is really cool. The
have
pricing,
you watched the video? Like, I watched the video.
I looked at the stuff. I watched the video. I looked at the screenshots. It just looks really cool. I feel like I need to talk to them about it because it looks really awesome.
So here's the thing.
Well, can I give my pricing before?
Sure.
$5 a user per month, and discounted for nonprofits, it looks like 50% off.
Yeah, so I think that's right in the thing. How much is their Gmail one? It's like 12. It's like 12 or 10 or something, whatever.
Oh, that's a good
something
question.
Like that.
I will tell you in a minute.
It'd be interesting to see if they bundle this. Like you could bundle it with the other one. And the thing that I looked at that kind of got me scared, or that I liked, but I have lots of questions on. 15. So that'd be $20 all in. Which is we have devised a very structured Google Drive setup.
Correct.
That has lots of structure to it, and it's organized like a file system, but with meaning, right? So you can find things, you can navigate to things, because we both come from the search world, and being able to navigate to something is as important as search for it, because sometimes 300 things are named the same thing, so searching doesn't work. And Google Drive Search is good. It's not brilliant. It's not great. Like, there's the sorting on it and getting to things. Like, if it doesn't come back in the first 20, you're like, I gotta find another way to get to it.
It's not good at synonyms either.
No, it's not Google Search.
As a search person, it doesn't feel like good Google search.
No, I was trying to look for a file, and I was using this word, and it just couldn't figure out how to get me to the word. And like, eventually I figured out another version of the word, and then it got there. So my concern or thing is that it's going to create a lot of custom folders based on, it looks like accounts and opportunities. Yeah. Like, it basically builds an account folder. For every account you have, it builds a folder for it. And then for every opportunity, then there's a folder for each and every opportunity. Well, how do you mix that with what you already have? Or is it just start again?
Lots of questions.
So yeah, lots of questions. What I don't have a question about is this other app, by as free can be, by a company called Frondu. Don't know. It is called Chatter Monitor. So this is a cute little Google Chrome extension.
I feel like I've used this.
I don't know. It's pretty new.
I feel like I used a version of this if it wasn't this.
And it puts a little, like, an extension up in your extension bar there. And you obviously log into Salesforce once on it. But then you can set all these settings in it in your Chatter Monitor. And it pops a window that tells you how many Chatter things are in there. And you can quickly scroll through and check out, like, comment on, search through Chatter. So it's kind of a nice way to be able to get into Chatter without having to sort of get into your org. So it might be good for you if you want to be in a separate org, right? You have your org that's in this window, but you might be a separate org you might want to be chattering in. You could use this tool to do that.
As opposed to Chatter Desktop.
Well, some of us have more than 2 orgs, 3 orgs.
Well, Chatter Desktop lets you flip.
Yeah, that's true.
You just flip in and out.
This one's just in the browser, but with extensions, I think extensions go with your syncing of Chrome. So anyway, it's nice. I've been actually using it. I like it. I've turned off all the notifications on it, except for it just pops a little number. But it's a nice way to actually read Chatter without having to sort of go into Chatter. So it's Chatter Monitor. It's free. It's an extension. It's by a company called Frond. And I don't...
Fronde.
Yes. That's cool. And it's a nice little app. And it's one of the few extensions I actually have. I don't use a lot of extensions.
Me neither.
I don't like
clogging up my browser.
No, I don't either. But I actually use this extension because it works. So
Dreamforce.
That's it, except for Dreamforce.
Dreamforce. Wrap it up with Dreamforce.
All right, let's wrap it up. Dreamforce is coming. The price is rising, and we are here to help.
It's like winter.
It's like winter. It's the winter. It's been coming for four seasons.
Still coming.
But Dreamforce registration is up. It's in October. If you didn't know any of this, I don't know how that's happened. It's all over, and I'm sure as soon as summer comes out, you're gonna get notifications in your face.
Yeah, you'll have that bar on the top. It'll say register for Dreamforce.
Terrible.
Download the mobile app, even though you already have it.
Yeah,
I hope it's
what'll come in winter 15? Smart banners.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I don't mind smart banners as long as they're smart.
Ugh.
They tell me something I don't know. I'm okay with that.
No, I don't stay on my face. But anyway, we have a $99 or $100.
$100 off. Why would they give us
$100
$99 off? That's like
so if you register now and use our code, it is EC14 Arkus. ARKUS. So EC14 Arkus. EC14 Arkus. $100?
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
That's it.
And that's in your head.
Now it's totally in your head.
That's it. You can't get away from that.
It's like Celino and Barnes.
You're going to remember that all night long. So use that and you get $100 off. It works for both nonprofit, for the nonprofit discount as well. So it goes against that one. And use it all the way up until I think like 2 days before, whatever. Next time on CloudFocus Weekly, we will be covering Google I/O, which starts this week. And Amazon rocks some worlds by releasing a Fire Phone. So we'll try to cover that next week. Until then, you can follow Justin at Just Edelstein, me at Jason M. Atwood, the company at Arkus Inc. We're on Facebook, the Success Community. We have our own group in there, so that's a great place. I actually posted, or did I post, or I thought I posted? I thought I posted. We were thinking about doing an episode where we were going to ask, you were going to ask us questions. We're going to do all question episode.
We'll do that soon.
Right, but I was going
We
to post.
need to build some questions up.
But that'd be a good place to do it.
That would be a good place.
So that would be a good place to give us feedback on which questions or ask us questions that we would then answer. And it could be anything, I guess, somewhat censored.
It's up to us. I mean, you can ask it. We
Please,
might not
if you have
answer it.
not already, so if you're a subscriber and reviewer on iTunes, may I ask you a favor? Our poor little Stitcher. Go out there and search for CloudFocus Weekly on Stitcher. They have their own podcast page, and it's one of the few places you can actually, it's the second place in the world you can review podcasts.
Oh.
But I'm noticing
Our
that we
poor
don't
little
have
Stitcher page doesn't have anything?
no reviews.
I'm going to give myself
So,
a review right now.
First of all, you should go to Stitcher because it's kind of a neat, it's neat. It's the anti-iTunes. It's web-based. It's easy. You can listen to it right in the browser.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, Stitcher. But we don't have any reviews. So review us on Stitcher. And if you're there and you haven't reviewed us on iTunes, go review us on iTunes. But Stitcher, review us there, please. That'd be great. Until next week, we'll be back with another episode. It's Justin and Jason. I don't know why I just did that. Saying, enjoy those cloudy days.